need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first?
I would say that by and large, a lot of men would be pleasantly surprised if a woman actually made the first move.
'Cause that's crazy to me.
Why? When this
Point is, leave women alone. They don't want you.
is the type of thing that countless men see every single day pushed on social media.
Like, when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're, like, making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not gonna say something, how are you not gonna say something?
Because they keep hearing things like this.
Stop stalking them, putting them in vulnerable situations to try to get in their pants.
Is it becoming clearer yet?
Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days?
Oh, the huevos still exist. They're just playing it safe and avoiding individuals with this type of mentality.
Each one of you are gonna go to hell.
And what man in his right mind wouldn't want to approach that?
My man to be assertive and dominant. If you want to say something to me, say something to me.
I think a lot of men are honestly just confused because that type of behavior has been called toxic masculinity.
I'll give you the opportunity. I'll put my phone down. I'll drop the handkerchief. But I'm not gonna do it first.
Of course not. Because after all, that would just be too easy.
This is the part women hate hearing but deep down already know. Men might desire you, chase you, or sleep with you, but that doesn't mean they want to commit to you. Being wanted in the moment is not the same as being chosen long-term. Instead of adjusting their behavior, a lot of women just get offended and say men are the problem. Then they keep doing the same things and act shocked when no man wants to take them seriously.
Me calling my ex-husband while we were separated because I was having a panic attack and he was my safe person. Him coming to pick me up even though I was the one divorcing him. I completely understand this. I did it several times. I struggle with the sadness of the decision, but it was needed. So your ex-husband is needed, but he's your ex-husband. Mine didn't come. I go through them alone now, and it hurts every time. There is a disconnect happening where women are leaving their men, yet expecting them to stay and keep performing their husbandly duties. Do you think if he called her having a panic attack that she'd even pick up the phone? Being expected to constantly provide and care for people who have given up on them is not good for men's souls and their growth. It is beating them down mentally. Even if it's not your intention, it is so incredibly manipulative to break up with a guy and then expect him to console you through the breakup.
This is exactly why men get destroyed in divorce and women still feel entitled to the benefits after blowing up the relationship. You chose to leave, you chose the divorce, but the second life gets hard, you still want access to the man you rejected because he made you feel safe. And when he stops showing up, suddenly it hurts. Of course it hurts. You fired the firefighter and still expect him to run into the burning house. This is why men learn the hard way that love for them is conditional, and support only exists as long as they are useful.
The society we're creating right now, more and more men don't want to get married. And I get why. There is almost zero upside for men getting married. This isn't me saying that men shouldn't get married, or women, but think about what society is telling men about what being a man is. Tell about society is fucking men hardcore for getting married. If you get married and you get divorced, a woman takes 50% of whatever you have. 80% of relationships, the man is the biggest provider. So that's a big fuck right off the bat. What are you getting in exchange for that? Second, if you have kids with her, you're fucked because the government doesn't think that you deserve shit. So even good dads who try to stay in the kid's life are fucked. So there's a lot of men going, why the fuck would I do this? The good news is that will correct itself because eventually then people start going, oh, right? When you create mistakes, you only create more error. Error creates more error. So we've gone so far the other direction that more and more men are going like, why the fuck would I get married?
This conversation perfectly explains why marriage feels like a gamble men are expected to take without insurance. She admits feelings change day to day and that love can disappear after the paperwork is signed, but the man is still expected to bet half his life on it. If she wakes up one day and decides he isn't who she thought he was, she can walk away with his assets and call it growth.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody. I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live? How would we split the time with the kids? I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. That is the reason why I have not left. Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old, I'm a mom of 3, and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself, or you don't love me for who I am, isn't really fair because I don't know who I am. I'm figuring that out every day.
This is one of the rare moments where someone actually tells the truth about men's lives. Men don't get rescued. Men don't get grace for failing. If they stop producing, people stop caring. A man can be drowning quietly, and the world will still expect him to show up, provide, and keep moving. Women talk about pressure, but men carry consequences. And the reason this makes people uncomfortable is because once you see it, you can't unsee how disposable men actually are.
Your partner, spouse, husband, wife, they're supposed to be up here, above almost everything else, including yourself. So I know that if he doesn't want me to do something, he has a good reason for it. And I know that he has my best interest at heart, just like I do for him. So I can be independent, opinionated, and be my own woman while still respecting and listening to my man.
So many women are not reacting well to this, but she did not say, if my man says no, I listen. What she said was, I respect my husband because he respects me.
This is the most common divorce story ever told. She didn't know herself. She didn't know her values. She didn't know what she wanted. She is an imbecile. And instead of that being a warning sign before marriage, it gets used as an excuse after. Men need to pay attention to this. You can do everything right, commit fully, and still end up being the practice run while she figures herself out. Then she walks away calling it a lesson, and you call it a mistake that costs you years.
It's not a
But I want a partnership, though.
Question for you. Do you want a man that's taller than you? Idealistically speaking?
Ideally, probably, because I like to wear heels. I like to be thin.
Fantastic. Do you want a guy that's stronger than you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a guy that's more confident than yourself?
Yeah.
More experienced than yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, you basically described the superior. So you expect this guy to come in and have a partnership with you?
We complement each other in other ways, and so we're still equal in that sense.
Men and women are not equal at all. Here's the thing. What you just described is what every girl wants. But they think that they're going to go into a relationship with a guy that's better than them in every single metric, and it's going to be an equal partnership or 50-50. It doesn't work that way. There's always a leader, there's always a decider, and for it to work, the man's got to be in a leadership role.
Men are not confused about the beauty industry. They are cautious about priorities. When beauty becomes your whole personality, men read that as high maintenance, high attention needs, and low peace long-term. Comparing it to video games misses the point entirely. Men judge women for the same reason women judge men. They are trying to figure out who will make their life easier or harder over time.
Why is a sexless marriage so damaging? In a healthy marriage, you have sex. And unless there are extenuating circumstances, a reason why that can't be, if both people are physically able to have sex, they should be. That is the mode of a healthy relationship. However, many of us get into what we call an intimacy withdrawal. It's like our bank accounts, our emotional accounts, our physical accounts, our relational accounts have become over withdrawn. We are in a negative balance. Leave a comment if this sounds familiar to you. Here's an example of what we often see. Sometimes maybe a wife and a husband will be home at the end of the day, and the wife wants to share something with her husband, and the husband's on his phone and he's checked out. And the wife does not feel heard and does not feel like her husband is emotionally supportive of her.
This sounds nice until you realize how fake it is. She says she listens to her man, but only when she already agrees with him. There is no real submission here, no real trust, just selective respect. Men hear this and think they are getting loyalty, but what they are really getting is a woman who lets you lead on a short leash. The second your decision makes her uncomfortable, you are no longer the leader, you are the problem.
I just think marriage is a no. In today's day and age, I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but you know, when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it does not make sense. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it. You do, but you could have a life partner, for example, but you just don't need the government involved.
Exactly
in that.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And fully want the whole white picket fence. We are husband and wife, but I just don't feel the need to go and sign some paper that lets them know that we are.
Marriage in its current form is a bad deal for men, and more guys are finally admitting it out loud. The idea of loyalty, family, and building a life together still sounds good, but the contract tied to it is absolute poison. Marriage today asks men to take all the risk up front while promising nothing on the back end. You can do everything right, stay faithful, provide, show up, and still get cleaned out because feelings changed and the system backed the exit instead of the commitment. Wanting a partner is normal. Wanting the government involved in your relationship when it has zero incentive to protect you is not. Men are not rejecting love. They are rejecting a deal that punishes them for believing in it. That's it for this video, guys. Help us grow by subscribing to the channel. Drop your thoughts down below and don't forget to leave a like as well. See you next time.